Hi, I'm making a game inspired by SSX Tricky and Mario Kart. Last time I took Slopeside Kings to DreamHack and got some hands-on playtesting, and wow, I got a lot of feedback. Some of it was super helpful, some of it stung a little, and some of it made me realize, yeah, this game is still kinda early. Would I throw it into Next Fest right now? No, absolutely not. But let's talk about it. So I broke down the feedback into 5 main categories: bugs, player feel, UI, level design, and new features. Since DreamHack, I've worked on the bugs, the new features, and the UI. I chose to tackle the bugs first, mainly because they were somewhat easy to fix, kind of like a quick win, and they were also wrecking the first impression of my game. For example, everyone wanted to grind rails. The rails were in the game, they were beautiful, but grinding them, yeah, it's basically impossible. Another example was crashing. When players crashed, the game would always point them in the wrong direction, and that could get frustrating quick for those that crashed often. You could also finish the race without the game realizing you had won, which was kind of funny, but definitely not what I was going for. There were also issues with the UI when playing multiplayer. One player's screen would track the player's position. The other player would have no clue as to where people were. It was a buggy mess. I won't bore you with the code, but I am happy to report that I've been able to fix 95% of them. There's still one sneaky multiplayer bug that shows up, typically whenever I'm demoing the game for a group of people, but I'll get it eventually. Next up is new stuff. Things the game needed and things people wanted. First, the forest. Players kept getting stuck in the trees, or lost, or stuck and lost. So I swapped out all the tiny, dense trees that made up the forest and replaced them with bigger, more spaced out trees that were easier to see and easier to snowboard around. And if you still get lost, check this out. Boom! Reset button. Put you back at your last checkpoint like magic. Now this is a combat racer, which means people are throwing stuff at each other mid-race, but playtesters said they were getting hit out of nowhere. They had no clue what hit them. So I added a warning system that lets you know when danger's incoming. It's not perfect. If someone hits you and they're super close, well, there's not going to be much warning there. So maybe there's something I can do with that. I'm still working on that. And finally, I added a rear view camera. It was something people requested, and it's kind of obvious when you're racing downhill at 100 miles per hour. It kind of helps to know who's breathing down your neck. It was actually pretty easy to implement, and it turned out pretty slick. Alright, let's talk about user interface. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'm not an artist. My skills are more suited for the programming side. My UI, yeah, it kind of looked like it came from a middle school group project. No offense to middle schoolers, but I gave it some much needed love. I added a speedometer, a race timer, a trophy count, score tracking, and updated the visuals for the item boxes and boost meter. All those speedometers, trophy count, score trackers, it may be a bit much. I might do something where they slide off and on the screen when they're relevant. I don't want to take up too much screen space when those items aren't important. It's not going to win any design awards, but hey, it's functional, it's cleaner, and it's definitely an improvement from what it was. There's still a ton to do with player feel and level design. Those are going to be massive pieces of the player experience, so I'm kind of saving that for the next video. But I'd love to know, what are your thoughts? Do you think I should have started there instead? I know that player feel is obviously one of the most important things of the game. Drop a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the devlog, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and if you really want to support the dream, check out my Patreon. Remember, I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in the next video.